Hello and welcome to Scoping Out Tools, and it's a turn-in video today. So I got these bottle openers 20 pack for about £6 off Temu, and the problem that I found was that they were Imperial. I need them to be metric because my tea nuts are metric. So originally I was going to see if I could buy Imperial tea nuts, which were quite difficult to get. But then Adam, who comments and watches my videos, he actually sort of said, "Oh, just use the die kit," and that's what I did. I used the die kit, and I've now actually got something that will actually fit these in. So now I'm going to get a bit of pear that I got from a wood festival for 50p, and let's see if I can actually make the bottle opener. And so I'm just checking the size of cut that I'm going to do. So I've based it, so I'm trying to get a nice square cut. Switching on the vacuum there, and with that I'm just pushing it forward. I still don't know the right speed to do the bandsaw, so for those using bandsaw a bit more, feel free to comment and just mention if I'm going too slow, if I'm putting too much force, or whatever you sort of see. You can see actually I'm flexing the bed, so I'm thinking that I might be putting a bit too much force on it, but let me know in the comments what you guys think that I could do to enhance that technique. And so always make sure that everything is center. I always do all four corners and then see where the center is. I don't know how precise it needs to be. I realised that I could have actually stabbed my hands there, so I'll need to watch that in future. Normally I give it a little bash with the hammer, but I hadn't realised how hard Pear actually was. Now another little mistake that I'm about to make is when I go to the drill. So you can see that I've actually secured it from the bottom, but you'll notice that there's a bit of movement and flex as I am drilling in. Now, as a result, what that's going to be is it made the hole not perfectly straight. And here comes another mistake coming up. So I'm putting the T-nut in. This T-nut came from Temu, and as I'm turning it, it's getting more and more difficult to turn. But I was sure that I would, even though it's a hardwood, it would not split the wood itself. And it's true, it didn't split the wood, it split the T-nut. And we'll see that in just where, in a minute here, where, oh, yeah, jumps out. And it's with I then realise that I've got to try to actually get this out. So you hear the wee I gave there. Right, so this is me trying to work it out. So I'm trying to use a wee clamp to push it together, hoping that the hex gets together. And then I'm not trying to take it out, I'm trying to actually put it back in. So I'm just trying to find out which thing I've got around that can help screw it. And each time I do it, it just keeps getting worse and worse. And so eventually I just think, right, I might as well just knock it off and hit it with a hammer. So hammer the bit off, yeah, there you go. And then I just want to check to see if it still screws in. And what do you know, it still screws in and it feels solid. So I'm good to go with the turning. And so I am actually roughing the wood around to a rough cylinder. Again, I've got to work on my technique. I'm not really riding the bevel, so not only am I cutting there, I'm trying out different things. I need to get a proper sharpening station set up so that basically I've got consistency, and then I need to then have a play with the angles to see if I can actually ride the bevel itself. A good one that I actually saw that showed this really nicely was Martin something woodworking, or something Martin something wood design. Sorry, I forgot his surname, but very good video. Um, and here again, it's I'm using the skew, and I haven't managed to get a nice sharp edge on it. Now I do my sharpening freehand. I'm using a belt sander. So it's not the ideal situation, but my thought is once I get a sharp edge, I get a sharp edge. But the trouble is it's the consistency. And when you've got a face mask on, trying to do it quickly is not the best way of doing it. So you see that I'm actually scraping more rather than slicing, which is not as good, because when you actually get your streamers going, it is so nice. So even as a beginner, I've seen the benefit of getting the streamers going. So this is me now trying like small spindle gouge. You'll see that I've got this one a little bit sharper, although it's not perfect, and it's not the largest of faces to ride it on. So I'm just trying different angles, and just getting the general shape to it. Now you'll just see that I do have a face mask on, because of course I don't want to be breathing in anything that I don't have to, and it's a full face one, so that if I do actually, if anything does fly off, it'll hit the mask and not my face itself. And yeah, and we're just turning away. Now the gouge is actually quite handy to get to the shape, but because it's very small angle, it's again a little bit difficult to get a smooth finish. And again, this might be my sharpening. So I often will finish it off with a little bit of my narrow skew. Narrow skews, all right. I'm quite happy with it. It's a little bit easier to get the sharpness, but it's not at the right angle. So again, I've got to really play about with the angle and the sharpening and so on and so forth. So hopefully I will be sorting out my sharpening station relatively soon. So this is me just, I've tried two different sides in that, just while I'm doing it, that I've got the live center, which is, you can see is rotating around, and then the dead center, which is sticking where it is. At least I think that's the right way around it is. Okay, so once I've got the general shape, and again my parting gauge, I wasn't able to get it nicely sharp again. So equally, it might be my belt's getting a bit old. Maybe it's not sharpening as much as I would like. You can, that's what I'm doing just now while I'm off screen. So again, I wasn't completely happy with it. So I went actually back to the skew just to actually get that nice edge again. So yeah, but this is the thing, and this is like what I like is it's a little bit of playing around, learning as you go, and it is a hobby. I've never had a lesson, so I am just doing a lot of this stuff by feel. I probably would actually speed up my learning if I did do a lesson, but it just means getting round to it, and it's always easier just to give it a try yourself first before actually making that jump for the lesson, even though your jump happens, like your learning occurs much quicker. Now that little black dot that next to the screw is a little knot, which you hopefully will see. Oh yeah, just see how it was when I got a catch there. It just stopped moving. So this is me getting it roughly to the right shape. I then actually do some sanding afterwards. I don't bother showing the sanding, but it's just holding the sanding paper on it and finishing it to, I think it was about 240 I polished it to. Now a bit of a friction polish just to give it a nice little shine, and as it's going around, you hopefully will see that the shine starts going higher as and when it just keeps going higher bit by bit for the shine. Now I've still got to cut it off, and also the bit that is held in the bit that is held in the two centres will need actually repolished as well. I'm just using blue roll just now, but I am going to be using rags in more often. Yep, so you can see how the mask is on my face. So I'm just turning, giving it a cut, turn, cut, turn, slice, and eventually it's going to come off, which I think I actually remove it, and then I actually break the cap bit off. I then off the side, what I then do is I actually just use the belt sander just to get a nice round ending. And with that, I'm just popping the bottle opener back on, and you can see that I do check to see if the angle's right of taking it up. So that's the bottle opener, Pear, 50p, bottle opener, £6 for 20. The thanks to Adam, who mentioned about turning it from metric to Imperial to metric using a die kit, which worked out really well. And yeah, first little bottle opener. Well, if I had the skill, I would spin it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching Scoping Out Tools. Bye for now.